Welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of the number one Grey Knight podcast. I am your host, Mitchie. Joined with me is my lovely co-host from the other side of the world, Hayden.
Hello.
And today we've got a very special guest. You guys know him as ShadowDayDream on TikTok. We know him as Will, and his mother as Mama Sosa. Give it up for ShadowDayDream or Will.
Hi, everybody.
We got to do the Mama Sosa plug. It's just required at this point.
It's the required.
It is. She comes with me everywhere I go, so at this point, might as well.
It's OJ's know. OJ's know what we're talking about. Anyways, Will, before we start, we've got one question for you about Power Rangers. 2.
Yes.
First one.
Okay.
Was Leo's shirt-ripping scene your gay awakening?
No.
No.
Really?
Really? We were
It was not my gay awakening.
We were talking about this on our last
What was
podcast.
that?
We were talking about on when we were watching the theme songs, which just came out today, guys. Make sure to check it out. And, oh shoot, what am I saying today? Because this isn't going to go up today.
Well, today, at the time of recording this, we should say.
Today, at the time of recording this. So, but we said, I wonder if this is Will's gay awakening.
No.
Yeah.
It's not. Jean-Claude Van Damme was my gay awakening. And then Leo.
Fair.
And then Leo. Leo was second, right? So, our next question.
Yes, Leo was second.
We know how versed you are in the Power Rangers franchise, but how versed do you reckon you are in the Power Rangers universe / franchise? We know that you've done Project Jason.
I'm terrible.
You seem to forget, you're the reason that me and Hayden have this podcast. We met each other because of you.
So yeah, for the uninitiated, Project Jason was a thing Will did on his TikTok where he would stream from July to November of 2024 all of Power Rangers from Mighty Morphin to Cosmic Fury. And I came in near the tail end of SPD.
I came in
and
and
Mitch came in.
Force.
And that's basically how it started. So if not for our dear Will, we would not have met. This podcast would not have happened, and I wouldn't be subjected to such torture.
Hey, I got us Justin Nimmo for the next episode.
You did.
So we're so happy to have you, Justin, if you're listening. But we look forward to having a discussion with you in the next episode.
Yeah.
Anyways, shall we begin the discussion of... Oh yeah, I've got to drop the title. The title is... I honestly don't know. Hayden, what's the title? You do all the titles.
I'll figure that out in post.
We don't have a title right now, but we're talking about the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers pilot that was never released properly. That was never actually released. Technically.
Now,
thank God it was.
Let's talk about the technicalities of it. It was aired on Fox Kids in 1999 when they were. It was to help push Lost Galaxy and kind of promote the new era of the show. That I do know. What I don't know is the version we watched was the actual full uncut version. Because the Fox Kids airing, they still edited some things. Like, in the Fox Kids version, there's actually a little bit during the Zord sequencing where you can hear a glimpse of Tui Trang, which you cannot hear in the uncut version.
Right.
The uncut version also has the original names for the Zords, which it was always, Tricera Droid, Tiger Droid, and they even did Mega Droid, which that's an interesting change I didn't anticipate.
Yes.
And of course, famously, for those who have seen the Fox Kids version, they got Austin St. John and Walter Jones to come back for that.
Yes, I remember I saw it on TV when it first came out.
And if I remember correctly, the Fox Kids version only aired one time.
Yes, it did.
I wasn't
I thought
back
so.
then, so
I remember that
negative
at the time.
I was negative.
Sorry,
7 years old.
It's negative 7 years old. God.
If I remember right, my mom might have been pregnant with me, or I was still floating around in my free 2-bedroom apartment.
I remember specifically that day.
We are unhinged.
I remember when it aired. I remember that. What was that?
We're unhinged, but we don't swear. We try not to.
We do try not to.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thank you for letting me know. I was going to ask you that.
All good.
We probably should have confirmed beforehand.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, we probably should have.
Now it's in the final cut, possibly. Depends.
We're still new to this.
Yeah, pretty soon you guys are gonna. If you're anything like me, when I started Project Jason or when I did any of the other projects that I'd done before, you look back at your first ever work and then you see how you've evolved as a person.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about Mitch, but in my podcast that I've done, because before the Sizzling Media, we were known as Irwin Media, and it took my last name, and that was done with a bunch of other friends that we kind of had issue, and we all splintered off for a while. It's a long story, but we've all, of course, made up and repatched everything. But those podcasts started in May of 2020, so and that literally started out of pure boredom from the pandemic. And looking at that now compared to where I am now, I definitely see I've definitely grown as a host.
Look, I'm talking personally. Like, I've grown through my making my TikToks. I used to be a person who didn't like to talk to new people. Like, I get really shy. But for those who don't know, I don't really want to say it in case she ends up listening to this. But I am talking to a girl at the moment that I met last night. So if you're listening to this and you stand up on this, I'm talking about you. You know who you are if you're listening to this.
Go out with him.
She asked me for my number.
For personal reasons.
Trying to help you out, buddy.
She asked me for my number, by the way.
Oh,
all right, the lady,
okay, wait a minute. Then she's already into you.
Run, it's a trap. But no, and to continue on what he was kind of saying, when we first met Mitch, we didn't even know his name was Mitch. We knew him as Ghostface.
We did.
That's right. Yeah, we knew you as Ghostface. You were like a big Ghostface killer. I remember, and then you came into the streams, and it was a fun time.
I remember there was like a couple.
Me and Mitch talked about this. Will, I could tell you the exact moment I found out his real name was Mitchell.
Yeah. Let's drop it.
Okay, tell me.
So it was around the time my dad had passed away, and I sent everybody in the server the virtual guest book for everybody to sign, right? And I was looking through it, and my mom was looking through it, and I was like, I had some of my friends sign it for us. And she looks at me and she goes, "Who's going by Ghostface?" And I look at it, and it, in parentheses, it said Mitchell, and I just had a laugh.
I thought it was Mitchell in brackets Ghostface.
No, I think it was Ghostface, and then in the parentheses it was Mitchell. But either way, that's how I found out his real name was Mitchell. I texted him that night. I was like, "Your real name is Mitchell?"
No, it was Mitchell brackets Ghostface.
Oh, that's right. I sent you the screenshot.
Yeah, I just looked at it because no one can see my screen, even though I'm using a screen recorder, because it will be just voices.
Oh, my Lord. So going back to the pilot, I did look at the air date. The air date was, when it aired, it was May 22nd, 1999.
May 22nd, 1999. Yes. I remember specifically what happened. It was Saturday morning, and I remember that I just had woken up and I was waiting for the new Space episode. And I think, if I wasn't mistaken, Space was about to end. And I was eagerly waiting. And then I remember I woke up to this, and that they were saying that Austin St. John and Walter Jones were hosting this thing. And I was just like, what? What is this? And then I remember I was freaked out by Zoltar.
Yes.
I remember.
I'm like,
and Fly Guy.
But
then we have Fly Guy.
See, I remember when I watched the pilot on YouTube, back when it was on YouTube, back when it was, you had to upload everything in parts on YouTube. I didn't realize the time was 1999, of course, but it was, of course, recorded from the TV. But I remember watching it, seeing Austin and Walter, and I was like, wait, I thought they were done. Why are they back? And then I saw Zoltar how I had seen Zoltar was there was this fan site I would go on religiously that had all kinds of pictures and everything. And I saw Zoltar, and I remember looking at him, and I was like, what in the name of God is that? Because I was like 7, 8 years old at the time. I was like, did Zordon just take a mad dump and Alpha not clean it up?
It looked like something that was like in the sewer. Yeah, it looked very, and then the way that his face would smush together when it would move. Oh my God, this green thing. And
yeah, I didn't like.
The one thing I will give Zoltar is at least his mouth moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mouth at least moved.
Oh my God.
So the next thing
which was an upgrade from Zordon.
Which, yeah. Another thing to discuss too is there was actually technically a second pilot that had come out. This one was unheard of for years. This pilot, we're not going to watch this pilot because it's basically just Day of the Dumpster as it is with just a few extra scenes. But this one was actually properly released by the, it was either a director or a producer on YouTube. And it was, it basically was a more modern version of the actual pilot mishmashed with Day of the Dumpster proper. Like instead of Jason teaching Billy self-defense, we get a recreation of like when they had beaten up the bullies in the pilot. Which, yeah, we do need to discuss that. Zordon's over here like, yeah, get me 5 teenagers that'll defend the planet. So his first thought is, let's kidnap teenagers who just committed assault and battery in a bowling alley.
Well, he was protecting them, from the police.
Yeah, good point.
Because if they would have
I watched that back and I was like, wow, the Rangers are kind of jerks.
They didn't start the
kind of jerks.
No, they didn't start the fight.
People.
But when you're over here,
don't bully people.
I get that, but when you look at it and you see Jason is straight up roundhouse kicking these guys in the face, it's like, dang, I could see why they had to change that.
So was that one in the leather jacket meant to be Skull?
Yes, that was originally meant to be Skull, but for reasons that are currently unknown, that guy dropped out, and then Jason Narvey came in, and they wanted Jason Narvey to keep being the lead bully, but when it was clear Jason Narvey was not a lead bully, that's when they rewrote Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, I don't like that first version of Bulk.
No, the hair just does not look good.
No.
Right.
It's horrendous. I'm glad that they fixed them. So they became
another thing I would like to talk about was Alpha's design is in the pilot. Was that a hit or a miss?
Miss.
I got to agree, it is a miss. It honestly looks like a walking trash can.
It does. Day of the Dumpster, literally, this was full of dumpsters. Zordon looked like a dumpster. Alpha looked like a dumpster. The Rangers' morphing calls felt like dumpsters. Like there was nothing. It was a properly named episode.
And I am going to say I get it. This was actually filmed in 92, but still. Like when Jurassic Park came out a year later and those effects still hold up, you got no excuse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is an excuse. Budget plays a big hand. So, like,
no, Jurassic it's not Park budget. Will it's just the
directed. I mean, it was also a pilot. This was them trying to sell and get a bigger budget, a show with an idea.
Very true. You're right there. But still, they could have done better than anamorphing them into dinosaurs.
I know. And that one scene, I don't know if you noticed it or if you clocked it, but when Trini, when they show Trini, they just show her like randomly just like shifting her hand.
Yeah. Like in universe, I wonder, like in universe, did she just punch her fist for no reason?
That's what I'm wondering.
The other Rangers are probably looking at Trini like, girl, you got Tourette's or something? You just hit somebody.
This is like, girl, what is wrong with you? You're so hyper. Like, she felt like the hypest person in the cast at the time.
Oh, my Lord. I think the funniest effect is the teleportation when they're teleporting out of the bowling alley, because that just looks like someone took them out of Photoshop and just stretched them like a Laffy Taffy.
Like they're in those mirrors at like fun houses and all that at carnivals.
Literally.
Yes. Oh my god!
Now, why
This
was
episode was a mess.
why was King Sphinx or no? So when they're fighting, once they've morphed, we see Golda, but he's called Flygar. But then when Rita makes her monster grow, Golda is in the back behind her, and then it's King Sphinx growing. What's going on there?
So the King Sphinx thing is, and I'm going to go ahead and say this now, in Zyuranger, they didn't get the Megazord until episode 6. And King Sphinx happened to be the first monster they fought after getting the Megazord.
Right.
Okay.
Which makes me wonder, if they actually kept this version, and like this was the version going forward, would they have had to fight King Sphinx again?
Possibly. Or no, it's not.
I would
King
feel
Sphinx.
like they would.
It's Flygar.
Well, I mean, that's true. Flygar, I guess, because it would technically not be the same villain. It just looks the same. But I don't know.
I know in the second version of the pilot, they used a different monster. I think, if I remember right, they used the, I'm going to look here. Yeah, they used the Gotan from the one episode where Zach was dating that girl, took that girl on a date, and it interrupted the date.
Oh, yeah.
Because that, funnily enough, that episode is part of the like final 20 episodes of season 1 that are considered Ju 2, which like, you know, that's when Toei refilmed new footage for Power Rangers. It may have been part of Ju 2. That actually was a proper Zyuranger episode that they never used, which is interesting.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Because when I first watched Zyuranger and saw them fight the Gotan, I was like, wait, they actually fought that guy?
I can't wait till I get to Zyuranger. I just can't wait. Because I'm just ready to sing the theme song.
Oh, you think that's catchy? Just you wait.
No, I know. I'm pretty sure that there's like a gazillion, like out of the 49, 50 seasons of Sentai, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some bangers.
What else is there to discuss? Another thing I kind of want to touch on is the morphing sequence. For the time, it doesn't look terrible. I will say, it does not look terrible.
Wait, you're talking about when they like do their morph calls and they call them the transmorphers and okay.
The pilot's morphing wasn't that bad. It really it's I see the effort and I gotta commend them for the effort.
Effort? You saw effort in that?
Hey, weren't you the guy who just said it was a pilot that they had to shop around?
Okay. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Here's the thing. If I was a person watching this show with money that I want to throw at a person, I need my actors to have energy. And they didn't have energy.
There was no effort in the way they called the dinosaurs. No,
there was no effort.
Tyrannosaurus.
Oh, the effect. Like,
I'm talking
the most depressing Tyrannosaurus I've ever heard.
In that morph.
Yeah,
no, and especially, I'm sorry, them having to call for help right before morphing is hysterical to me.
So I've like, yeah. So I've looked it up. King Sphinx in the Day of the Dumpster pilot is called Fly Guy, not Flygar.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's kind of worse.
That is worse because it's like, can you not come up with another name?
No.
And then
it was a pilot. We gotta accept it's a pilot.
And then
here's something that I'm gonna knock on the morph real quick before Mitch continues. So I'm an eagle-eyed viewer. I clock these types of things. So you know how in the split screen before it came to Jason, you see the 4, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, in the pilot, and you'd have to act like once you actually see Zyuranger, I'm sure you'll clock it. They put the Rangers in the wrong spots. And I say that because the split screen was taken from the actual Zyuranger morph, right?
Mm.
And in Zyuranger, when they first morphed, they did the effect where it showed the Red Rangers morph and then the other 4 in that split screen. In that split screen, the top left was black, top right was pink, bottom right was blue, and bottom left was yellow. Well, again, you'd have to actually watch Zyuranger and compare, and I'll probably provide a screenshot when we get to it. But they put the Rangers in the wrong spot. Because, like, Kimberly was on black, Trini was on blue, Zach was on pink, and Billy was on yellow.
Well, this was telling them what their actual personalities were, I think. You know,
No,
Billy
it was just random placement, and they didn't care.
I know this. But then I think that this was a quick edit. By the looks of how everything was done, it was clearly a quick edit. Everything was kind of like thrown together.
And like I feel
like
it's not a terrible
when they were
effect
filming
from time. Of course, what we ended up getting in the actual show was much better.
Way better. I think I just feel like the way that the episode was filmed, it was meant to sell an idea, so they just quickly just filmed however they did. Like I feel like they did it like 3 takes and then just say that's just what it is. If that. I just feel because like the acting is so off, the nothing feels consistent.
And especially like you pointed out how there was no emotion. Like obviously in modern day episodes of PR, you hear Jason do the Tyrannosaurus and then he's over here in the pilot like he just woke up from a nap. Tyrannosaurus.
He's like, Tyrannosaurus, I don't want to do this today. And then for them to calling it Transmorphers, I find that I'm like, that's such a stupid name. I'm so glad that they just changed them straight to Morphers.
And it's funny when you remember this aired in '99, the year Lost Galaxy came out. Lost Galaxy's Morphers are called the Transmorphers.
Oh.
I mean, I can get Transmorpher because it's like they want to say they're transforming, metamorphosis, whatever, but it's like, come on.
Oh, now I remember. Okay, space had just ended.
Yeah.
And then we were a week away from Lost Galaxy. And so this had aired just before Lost Galaxy. And then I think they even premiered Lost Galaxy right after this was done. And that's when I was like in love and I was hooked.
I just know from like, because if you watch the aired version, when Walter and Austin are giving that abbreviated retrospective, you could see they didn't use any actual Lost Galaxy footage. It's all Sentai footage.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, like the whole thing with it being the Lost episode, you could tell they just took out the word Galaxy and put episode in the logo.
Mm-hmm. Power Rangers episode. Power Rangers of Galaxy. Yeah. Oh my god.
So the next elephant in the room that we have to address.
Guys.
The next elephant we have to address, because this has to be addressed because it's part of what made the pilot kind of blow up. The revelation that Twee was not the original Yellow and it went to Audrey Dubois.
Yeah.
So before we talk anything on that controversy, how do we feel Audrey did as Trini?
I don't reckon it suited her.
Really?
Yeah.
Will, what do you think?
I personally think that she did great. And like, here's the thing. I think that if she would have stayed as Trini, I think that we would have liked her just the same. But like, as we like Chui Trang. But like, I think that like, I don't know. Like, I felt like I need to see what her energy would be like in an actual episode before I like fully do it. But I don't think that she did a terrible job. I think that she was the most energetic in the Lost episode compared to everybody else. There was a little few strange hiccups with her character, but I think that she was a good character. She was a good fit. It's just that I ultimately like Chui Trang at the end of the day.
See, and that's kind of where I stand. Audrey did have the most energy out of everybody there, and I definitely feel she knelt the tomboy aspect of Trini's character. But the thing that makes me gravitate towards Twee is Twee added the grace and beauty that Trini needed to be a more diverse, the character that she ended up becoming. And of course, God rest Twee's soul, but I believe Audrey would have done, again, the better job at terms of the tomboy aspect, because I'm sorry, I understand that Twee was not exactly a tomboy-looking girl, but Audrey definitely had that part nailed.
Yeah.
He had that part down pat. I think that it would have been I would have loved to have seen how different the show would have been if she had taken the role and stuck with it. And just like how her and Kimberly's relationship would have been. And then I could believe, like, in my personal opinion, I believe, like, you know how like people like how like especially people in the LGBT, they have a tendency of like shipping characters together. I feel like this would have been like if you ever watch Xena Warrior Princess, it would have been like a Gabrielle Xena moment between Kimberly and her, because she is a tomboy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm just
No, it doesn't.
I have no clue about what you're talking about, but so yeah.
Mitch is so lost. Sorry. Lost Galaxy, lost episode.
Damn, Mitchell's also lost, including the lost episode. I'm Zorro right now, guys. I've got lost. I'm Zorro.
It's like, I'm lost. Oh my god.
Overall, watching the pilot and you compare it to what we actually got, this really isn't that bad. Again, especially with, you have to remember this was just what they were shopping around in networks. But man, it's rough.
It's rough, but what we ultimately got at the end of everything ended up just creating one of the greatest franchises, in my personal opinion.
And it is
one of the
really
greatest franchises in history.
You watch this, like, and it, like, you look at Walter and David in particular, and you think to them in 1992 or even 91, I don't know when this was filmed, but imagine filming this and then 30 years later you're asked, hey, you want to come back for a 30th anniversary movie? Like, it's crazy how much staying power this show had, and it's all really thanks to this.
Everything's got a humble beginning, guys, is what we're trying to say. So the same that you want to do, just try it out. You never know what will happen. I started TikTok.
No, and knowing the story of how Saban went through trial and tribulation to even get it out, because I remember, I don't know if you know this, Will, but originally it was the 8th season of Sentai that Saban tried to shop around. Bioman, that went nowhere fast.
Oh wow!
And every time he would shop it around, he was practically laughed out of the room.
I guess the suits, though, you have to say that those suits are just so iconic, though. And like,
I'm glad they went with Zyuranger, because originally when it finally got picked up by Fox, they were gonna use, because by this point Bioman was way too old to adapt, so they were gonna use the previous season Jetman, but then it was suggested, no, wait till Zyuranger. You know, kids love dinosaurs. Zyuranger's dinosaurs. Wait till that's finished.
Yeah,
and dinosaurs were becoming a big thing around that time in the 90s. So,
and it's funny because apparently, according to Tony Oliver, one of the producers, what sold Toei on licensing the show to Saban full term, because it was Saban, Tony, and some of the producers from Toei, and they're like, "Are you sure this is even going to have staying power? Like, what makes you so confident this will work?" And apparently, Saban stood up in the booth at the restaurant and just sang the Jetman theme, and the Toei producers were like, "This guy's so nuts, it might actually work."
That's like kind of like the Matrix in a way, like that they were selling the idea, and it just sounded so crazy that Will Smith said, "No, I can't do this movie." And then Keanu took it, and then it was like the biggest movie of the time. So
it's also similar to when Pixar was making Toy Story, they actually wanted Billy Crystal to play Buzz Lightyear, and he said, "No, that's probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard." And Billy had since went on to say that's the biggest regret in his career. So when they asked him to do Mike Wazowski for Monsters, Inc., he was like, yeah, duh, I'm going to take that. I'm not missing another shot. And arguably, I'm glad that's how it happened. I'm glad that's how it happened, because I'm sorry. You look at Buzz Lightyear, I do not go to Billy Crystal.
No, but in a way I can sort of see it. I could sort of see that voice being put on like Buzz Lightyear. So that's kind
I
of
see
weird.
Billy Crystal more as a Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that makes more sense for Billy Crystal. But yeah.
Mm.
I'm just so lost. I'm sorry.
We didn't steal you off of your stream just to discuss you with like 30 minutes. We need to make this at least an hour-long video with you. So we have to milk you for another half hour.
Oh,
That's
okay, for another half hour. Okay. Well, first off, I want to say that I'm very happy for you guys. I'm very happy for your guys' podcast and everything.
What's funny is this all started because it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning my time, because newsflash, Hayden doesn't like to sleep on a regular basis.
It was like 8 to 9 p.m. my time.
So what it sparked was we were talking about Lord Zed and how there was no continuity in Power Rangers where Lord Zed was actually defeated.
Yeah.
And it got us thinking, and we were like, hang on. Have any of the main villains really been defeated?
Not really.
Have you listened to episode 0? Have you listened to episode 0 of the podcast, Will?
No, I haven't had a chance to. I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Let's not spoil it for him, because that is discussing what villains have actually been defeated.
No, and the thing that is funny about it is when we were talking about it the first time, because the version that's out is not the version we recorded first. The version we recorded first, we ended up scrapping that because that kind of went against the rule of we're going to try to be as PG as possible. But wow, we went in depth.
Yeah, like the first one, we literally had to contradict some of our own what we said. Like, we said only one team had done it legitimately. Now it's like 5 or 6 wins
that are legitimate.
I have a question for you guys, and this is just throwing it. I'm just doing this especially because of your next episode. Okay. Do you feel that the destruction of Zordon's energy tube ruined Power Rangers? Like in terms of continuity and certain things.
The thing we have to remember
with that.
The thing we have to remember with Zordon's destruction is, at the time, that was going to be it. They had no idea in space was going to be what renewed them for a second, for continuing on. So with that in mind, it's the perfect bookend of that era. Zordon's gone, the villains are gone. There's maybe a few loose threads because, of course, we didn't know what happened to Rito, Master Vile, or any of them. But as far as they were concerned, that was it. But now with the future of things in mind, I feel Zordon's wave. I mean, yes, in the episode they said, it's going to destroy all the evil. But my thing is, I think Zordon only meant the United Alliance of evil because that was the threat at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Which explains...
Lost Galaxy, their villains were way off. Lightspeed were they were in the tomb and all this. There's a lot of evil that wasn't out at that moment.
Metagog wasn't a villain yet. Master Xandra was still in the...
He was still sealed away. Time Force and SPD, those take place in the future, so they don't count. Mystic Force was still sealed away.
Vengex A wasn't created and Bates in an alternate timeline. Well, different...
Overdrive, their villains, they weren't villains yet, I don't think. And wait, no, they were villains, but they were still sealed away.
Yeah, because they weren't unsealed till that season.
Jungle Fury sealed away. Megaforce, I don't think they were even a threat yet. Same with the Armada from Super Megaforce. Ninja Steel, same thing. I think they weren't a threat. So I think it really boils down to they were sealed away or weren't a threat.
Okay. All right. Dang. You guys, literally, that was actually a great breakdown.
Now, this is what I want
And
to
the
talk
best part
with
too,
Will
that
about.
was
That's a
all
great
on the spot.
breakdown.
Now, Will, we've got a question.
That's great.
We've got a question for you, Will.
I'm nervous.
No, this isn't a bad question. Are you familiar with Power Rangers Hexagon?
No.
Alright, so Ninja Storm's original plan was to be called Power Rangers Hexagon. Now, there were two plans. I don't know if they're both the same, because I've heard Hayden's side and I've heard what I've heard. So, I'll let Hayden tell his side after I say mine. So, originally it was meant to be Tommy and Jason come back leading two new teams and being mentors. And then, like, Jason turns evil or something. And it's like an evil side and like a good side, and then it's like old Rangers coming back and all that. So it was going to be like an anniversary season, but it was going to be like almost like the Pentagon type stuff, like government Power Rangers again.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but that never happened. I'm sure if you look up Power Rangers Hexagon, you'll find out a lot more about it. But now let me.
So to kind of continue off what he's saying, this was supposed to be run by Amit Bhaumek, who was the, I believe, he was the writer and I believe director for Forever Red. So Forever Red was kind of him planting the seeds for Hexagon. And his initial plan was the Wind Rangers, Shane, Tori, and Dustin, or whoever they would have been, were going to be under the tutelage of Tommy. And Jason was going to be like, no, we can't have the Rangers as one, unit. We have to be separate like we've always been. And it was going to turn into a civil war. But of course, they had the thing with Lothar and all them. But the Civil War was going to be kind of a side plot. But on top of that, it was going to close the thread on a lot of unfinished things. Like, they were going to reveal the fate of Master Vile, Rito, Scorpina, all those people. And Tommy was actually going to be the Green Samurai Ranger. But the initial plan was going to be Tommy was going to be the final antagonist, and the Rangers would beat him, and he'd be like, yeah, we got to break the Hexagon up.
Interesting. So wait, was this the original, was this the Saban idea before it ultimately went to Disney?
Well, Disney had Power Rangers by the time Wild Force was in production, but the production company was still Saban's company. Right. So
okay,
that's why Wild Force's people can't make up their mind which one it is.
Got it.
But
okay,
that was what Amit Bhaumek wanted for the show. He wanted that to be, because it would have come out in 2003, which would have been the actual 10-year anniversary. So that would have been perfect. But with Wild Force, Disney wanted to end Power Rangers with Wild Force because they only aired it for syndicated reruns. But when it was brought up to somebody that, oh, hey, New Zealand is a lot cheaper to film in, that's when they were like, fine, we'll keep it going.
Sorry, didn't see
and because it was in New Zealand, it went to New Zealand and it once again became a non-union show. They weren't able to do Hexagon, and that's how we got the Ninja Storm that we have.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyway, not to interrupt.
That's actually cool.
Not to interrupt. Do either of you two do the Mighty Morphle, the Power Rangers Wordle?
No.
Somehow I just go into, I put in Con McKnight and then I put in Tommy Oliver as the Green Ranger and got it in 2. I got nothing off of my Glorious King, and then we're talking about Tommy, so I was like, alright, let's just do Green Ranger Tommy, because then I can knock out Saban if it's not him. And then I end up getting it, and I'm like, fuck.
So going back to the pilot episode, which is what we were supposed to discuss, well, I do have to address this because this is information that's now out. The controversy surrounding the filming. Will, I assume Dre's filled you in on all that?
What, based off of the original 1995 film?
No, the pilot of episode.
Oh, the pilot of the episode. I thought you said movies. I was like, what? No.
Oh, he hasn't? Okay,
No.
well, this actually goes into why Audrey Dubois quit. Well, there's two things. One was they were not going to pay her to move out to Los Angeles. If she was going to move out to Los Angeles, it was entirely on her.
Oh my God.
But the big thing that made her quit was they were filming in a desert. And I assume it was the initial fight scene with the putties. One of the stunt actors for the putties had fainted while in costume. Because remember, those are skin tight costumes with no not a lot of breathing room.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy passes out, and one of the directors or somebody, I can't remember who, but it was one of the higher ups, and was like, "Hey, anybody want to get in this costume and help us finish? We'll pay you $20 right now."
Wow.
Dude literally fainted, and they just want to finish.
Yeah.
It was Saban was really bad.
No, that it's all in that HBO Max documentary. I can't remember the name of it, but it
I have
opened
to
my eyes
watch
to a
it.
lot of.
I really have to watch it because
It opened my
is
eyes
that
to
the
how bad
Hollywood?
Saban was.
Is that the Hollywood Demons?
Yes, I believe it's episode 4.
Okay, I have to look at that. That's an HBO Max, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to watch that one.
It's called The Dark Side of Hollywood.
The Dark Side of Hollywood. Thank you.
And even though it's unrelated to the Mighty Morphin Pilot, it did also open my eyes to the whole Rick Medina drama, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie, since day one and as it went on, I was on Rick's side. I kept telling everybody, no, it was self-defense. He knew what he did was wrong. He turned himself in. He did his time. I don't hold a grudge. I think, I forgive him. Of course, this documentary came out and revealed much more information than what the media put out. I was like, oh, that's 10 years of my life sticking up for a monster.
Yeah. See, I'm just like, I just remembered how. Well, I know that this has nothing to do with the pilot. We keep like getting off topic with that, but
Yeah, that's
no,
normal for us.
we could get back to the pilot.
No, you could go ahead.
You're the guest.
Well, I was just saying because I didn't know the full story of the whole Rick Medina and the samurai sword issue and all that stuff. Because when I first heard about it,
I do have to point that out for legal purposes. That's allegedly what had happened. What was said in the documentary. But of course,
yeah,
people are going to believe what they want to believe.
Exactly. I think what happened was that I remember I didn't learn about this story because I didn't watch any of Power Rangers on past Lightspeed Rescue from that point on when I first started Project Jason. And so people were telling me the story about how awkward it was going to be by the time I get to Wild Force. And I'm like, now that I know this story, I'm like, Wild Force is going to be very creepy to watch.
See, for me, I can watch Wild Force and still enjoy Rick's character because I am one of the, I've always separated art from artist. There's a lot of characters or shows out there that I love, but I cannot stand, a particular person behind them. A big example, of course, Rick Medina, I have my opinion on Rick, but I don't love Wild Force, I need to say. And not only that, Power Rangers itself, I love that franchise to death, but the absolute bin to Haim Saban.
Guys, not to jump in, but she has watched the Power Rangers.
Oh!
Wait, what?
He's talking about that girl he's getting with.
She has watched Power Rangers. I'm like, which seasons have you seen? Man, she says Conor McDonald's her favorite Red Ranger.
No, plot
She's
twist.
a dream woman. Keep her.
But
now if she says that like Super Mega Force is her favorite, man, maybe you might have to.
Red flag.
Red flag.
No, if Ninja Steel's her favorite, it's a red flag.
I'm just like, oh wait, what if she says that Carter Grayson is her favorite Red Ranger?
He's gonna tell her, all right, I gotta hook you up with my mate Hayden. He's engaged, but I'm sure you two will work something out.
No, I wouldn't care. I would figure something out. I could make that work.
Hey, I will take the fact that I will take the fact that you're getting a girl who may actually be into Power Rangers. Because
that's crazy. That's very rare.
I remember growing up in the town I did and going to the schools I went to, a lot of the kids were awful. But, you'd get the occasional one that was good. And, me and my small circle at that time, it was like me and 3-4 other kids. And one of them was like, Hayden, if you ever get married, is she going to have to like Power Rangers too? And I literally looked at him. I went, I'll happy to have a wife by then. And
oh my God.
My fiance does not like Power Rangers, but I will take the fact that when I watch it, she will sit down and watch it with me.
Good. You know what? That's a green flag. Maybe she's not a fan of the show, but at least she watches it with you.
No, green flag. She's seen the 1993. She's seen the originals. That's a green flag.
Okay.
She's seen the originals.
Is she willing to watch all of it? Is the question now.
I'm like, I've seen them all. I'm gonna pull that up. Smoke's just listening to me saying all this.
Ooh, should we play She's a Green Flag or Red Flag?
No.
Like, she's a green flag if she likes Amelia from Cosmic Fury.
Hang on. I think the greenest of green flags is if she looked at Mitch in the eyes and said, Connor's the worst.
Yes. Or
even
you could have like a little playful. You could have like a little playful like thing, you know, like a playful rivalry debate thing. That would be like a nice little
Mitch, if you and her
thing.
actually get together, legit, you cosplay Connor and she cosplays Amelia.
That would make the Forever Red Part in canon.
Exactly.
There we go.
No, he wasn't. He was hitting on Lauren. Connor was hitting on Lauren, not Amelia.
Oh yeah, have her dress up as Lauren.
There you go.
She also
likes. No, I remember. I've what?
She also likes anime. She's seen most of them.
Oh my God, this is a dream girl. Like,
and we're sure she's legal, right?
She's 18.
Yeah, she's legal, right?
She's 18.
Okay, that's a little bit teeter-tottery, but you know what? Okay.
Mitch is like 19, isn't he?
Yeah. You seem to
get okay, then you're fine. Okay. Make sure you look at her ID.
I think that she turns 19 this year and I turned 20 this year. So.
Oh, that's cute. I love that. 1 year apart.
Then there's my fiance who is older than my brother by a few months.
By the way, we met whilst watching Scream, like the original. And I originally wasn't going to go because my mate's like, "You're going to come?" And I'm like, "I've already seen it in cinemas." And then like this week, I was like, "Oh, screw it, I'll come. I want to see it again. I want to see it with you guys." And then like we walk in, and we're all wearing matching shirts. Me and my two mates. And then she's like, "Oh, nice shirts," because like she was right next to me. I don't really go into too much detail in case she doesn't want me to. In case she is listening, she don't know any of my TikTok or here yet, so haven't revealed that much yet. But yeah, so and then she asked me for a number after the movie, and yeah, we've been talking ever since. I woke. Literally, the first thing I saw on my phone was a good morning from her this morning when I woke up.
Oh my God, this is already a thing at this point.
And then there's me when I met my fiance. I met my fiance in high school. She was in her senior year and I was in my junior year. And I can't remember why, but I remember just being mad. For the life of me, I can't remember what I was mad at. But I walked into my theater class and my theater teacher was fun, all right? She didn't have the standard desks and chairs. Like, she actually had couches along the walls, right?
Right.
Well, I had a couch and I had a spot that I like to sit in. Yes, I was a Sheldon Cooper and had a spot. And I look and there's this random girl in my spot. So I'm already mad. I'm about to go say something. And this one guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, I know that's your spot. Leave her be, man. She's blind. She don't know." And I was like, "Okay, I will leave her alone." So the teacher then's telling us, "Okay, so we have all these special needs kids and they can't work by themselves. So I'm going to assign everybody to work with one of them. in case they need help with work, or really in case we had a fire drill or a lockdown, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So the first thing I'm thinking in the back of my head, God, do not put me with that blind girl. Do not do it.
Your future wife.
And teacher tells me, Hayden, can you work with Katura? All right, great. Which one's Katura? Oh. I was not a happy camper that day.
So now I think.
Well, I mean, but then again, you were in high school, so like that alone is something to not be happy about.
I was in high school, and let's also remember, up to that point, I had no idea, because she was the first blind person I knew who was blind, right? So I knew nothing.
Right. Uh-huh.
Because my grandma would resurrect and kick my butt for this, but my grandma was blind, but she didn't act blind, because she had like 5 or 10% vision in one of her eyes. So to her, that did not make her blind. She never learned to read Braille. She never learned to use a cane, never had a guide dog, nothing.
Okay.
So she didn't act blind, so my whole life I never knew.
Right.
Huh.
I didn't find that out until... I didn't find out she was blind until sometime after... It was around the time she had died, actually.
Oh.
And so...
That's insane.
This is the first blind person I knew who was blind, so I was like, great, now I got to learn how to take care of someone who's blind and help them out.
And then
eventually you grew to like it. You grew to...
I did. It got to a point, because I was in a relationship when me and her had met, right? And this girl I was with ended up cheating on me, so screw that girl.
Yeah.
Screw her.
And so after me and her had broken up, I was actually in a real bad spot mentally. And I'm not going to lie, I was planning to punch my own ticket. And one of the things that stopped me was, it's weird, right? Because we weren't close by this point, but it became, wow, who's going to take care of her after I'm gone? And
yeah.
Then sorry, had to mute for a sec. Anyway. So
just muted. He's unmuted.
Yeah, I'm got distracted. Anyway, so she wanted to take me to prom, but because I ended up finding out she had a crush on me about a month after we had met.
Oh.
And she wanted me to go to prom with her. The day she asked me was the day before, like literally the day before. I was sick.
Hang on. I know this is important, but green flag just popped up. So I'm like, maybe we need to watch them together because she hasn't seen them in a while. And she's like, we should watch them together.
Oh!
Yeah!
Green flag.
Green flag!
If somehow
green flag.
If somehow me and her finish watching Parents, if we ever do, before Patrick finishes, I'm going to punch him in the face because he's been watching it for almost 2 years now.
Oh, he's watching it slow.
He's on the final 3 seasons too. He just needs to finish Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury.
And even then,
come on, man, just get to it.
Full.
Yeah, and he skipped like
to it. Watch 10 episodes a day. You're fine.
No, he skipped almost all of Ninja Steel and all of Beast Morphers.
I mean, honestly, Ninja Steel was really...
I mean, I don't blame him, but it's like, if you're trying to get into the show, you gotta try.
I think he just wanted to watch all the originals to get up to Dino Charge again. He enjoyed everything up until Ninja Steel. Like, he didn't mind...
Ninja Steel really ruined it.
Ninja Steel ruined
it.
He liked Overdrive. Oh, God.
He doesn't like it, but he says it's not as bad as what people make it out to be. Which is it is.
I mean, retrospectively, when I think about that season, there was aspects to it that I did not hate about it, but
when you compare
I
it
look
to
at like the big
SPD, Mystic
moments,
Force, and Jungle Fury in particular,
it was a
it's
terrible season.
because SPD, Mystic Force, Overdrive, and Jungle Fury were all ran by the same dude.
Yeah.
So how do you get Overdrive when you have such hits as SPD, Mystic Force, and Jungle Fury?
Yeah.
But
it was a Pinocchio story. That's the weird part. Like, that's what threw me for a loop.
And everybody's
It was
like,
trying to be Indiana Jones and ended up being Pinocchio.
No, and I love how, and I remember around the time it became, Mickey Mouse is going to join the Power Rangers because Disney bought it. And, they're going to put in all the Princess Shayla. They put in all the Disney princesses. No one ever talks about the time they did Pinocchio.
I got no strings to hold me down.
All right, to include me and Hayden's love stories, William.
Yeah, to continue that story. So I was sick the day my now fiance asked me to prom, and I missed it. And I felt bad for a week because I was like, oh my God. This is a girl that was actually wanting to do something with me. So I remember this was around the time my high school had built a brand new performing arts center for the theater and band kids. And the teacher and all the students in my class were moving stuff to the center. And I was like, hey, can I stay and watch the special needs kids? They'll be fine. I got it. And in actuality, what I was doing was I was pulling up a song that we could slow dance to. And me and her actually had our first dance together in that classroom. And that's really what pushed me to be like, yeah, I can't clock out. This is something I want to continue. Even, mind you, I wasn't even romantically interested yet.
Oh, so she was clearly interested in you, but you weren't fully interested or invested in her yet.
No, but it was like, I wanted the friendship to continue. And I remember so many kids would ship us, right? And one girl was like, oh, you two will get married and be cute. And I was like, oh my God, shut up.
You know how people are, though.
I know.
But there's true. It ended up that person was right.
What's funny is I posted my proposal on Facebook, and that same kid commented, hey, remember when you got mad at me for saying y'all would be a cute couple?
Do you apologize to me now?
No, I do not apologize.
All right, so we've had me and Hayden's love stories. I think it's only fair that with our last little bit of time for the episode, we listen to Will's love story.
Oh my God. Mine's not like overly romantic. Basically, when I first met Kevin, that was it was weird. We first met each other. It was through Facebook. I had posted up a picture of myself, and it was nothing. It was just like a regular picture. It was nothing out of the ordinary. I think I was like, what was the picture? It was just like me like showing off a new hat or something like that. And so he had commented on it, and he liked the picture. He's like, oh, I love the picture, or what? He DMs me. So I started talking to him, and at that point, I got out of a bad relationship, but I was still friends with the person that I broke up with, and we were living together. And so then I moved out of that relationship, and me and Kevin started to talk, but I was still kind of like going through my issues with my previous relationship. And then so I talked to him, and I just wasn't ready at the time. We were chit-chatting, and it could have gone romantic like all the way back then, but I wasn't ready. So then what happened was that's when I kind of like I started talking to Kevin a little bit before Project Jason. I want to say it was like March of that year, and I didn't start Project Jason until July. So I started talking to him, and I just didn't pay no mind, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna. I actually did something bad. I ghosted him, and then yeah, it was terrible. So then I finished Project Jason.
Since Project Jason.
Yeah, so I started Project Jason, finished Project Jason, did Project Beetleborgs, and then started Project Digimon. And then I started to talk to him in March of last year. And then we started to talk and we kind of like picked up where we left off. He wasn't mad at me. We just kind of picked up the conversation. And, and I kind of gave him a little bit. I gave him a chance because I was going through my issues with my previous relationship. And then I had like friends that we were doing podcasts with, and that kind of went into like a shit show, kind of like how your friends went with Hayden. It was very that we had a podcast, but the only thing is that we are not friends anymore. So we just kind of just moved on. So I just ended up putting my full like tank on Kevin, and him and I just started we just kept talking and talking. We met in person, and then, the rest is pretty much history. We just are still getting to know each other. We're about to be a year together. We see each other every weekend. We work during the week, and we're like on opposite sides of the town. We're on like we're like in the town, but we're like, he's on the west side, I'm on the east side. And so I see him like once a week. So we physically see each other, but I talk to him the majority of the week. So we are going strong. Everything goes fine. He proposed to me in December on day. He proposed to me, and I said yes, with the promise and like indication, like obviously I wanted to make sure that like if we were to be together, I wanted to make sure that that I'm like, I want us to live together first. I want us to make sure that we can survive living with each other and, a few other things, because we haven't lived with each other. So I don't know how that would be, because how feelings can change if you live with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all I can tell you is somehow after dealing with me, my fiance still wants to marry me. So, hey, it could work out.
It could. It really could. It's just the thing is that I feel like I'm the problem in the relationship because I'm so inconsistent with my emotions.
To kind of carry on from my story, because hearing yours, it's like, wow, that's very similar to mine. How I ended up asking her out was her family had invited me out to their lake house, and they thought we were dating at that point, but we weren't. Mm-hmm. So, funnily enough, that trip was when I caught my feelings for her, because I was reflecting on it. I was like, wow, this one person made me happy when I wanted to literally not be alive anymore. And I was already speculating that she had feelings for me. So I was like, Turi, do you have feelings for me? Yeah. Okay. So you want to be boyfriend and girlfriend? Sure.
That's
sure. It's not happening.
That's cool.
I wish that's how proposing worked. I wish I could have been like, so you want to be my wife?
Sure.
But going back to the previous relationship, that girl, the whole thing on her cheating on me, I got it out of her because I caught her red-handed. She cheated on me purely because I'm autistic. Which, of course, now looking as an adult, it's like, why didn't you just say something? You knew I was autistic before we dated.
Oh my God.
But so it led me to believe that I was the big problem, and I actually wanted to mask my autism from her, from my fiance and her family for years. Of course, now they know. And I remember when her mom got it out of me, she tells me, we got a lot of weirdos in this family, right? You'll fit right in.
That's nice.
I love my fiance and her family. They are good people.
Anyways, I can see this title is no longer going to be just titled the pilot episode. I can see this is going to have a few different titles possibly.
You could literally just call it Power Rangers Lost in Love.
Holy shit.
I was gonna say love stories with pilot episode in parentheses.
Yeah, the pilot episode took like 20 minutes.
The pilot episode took up not even a quarter of the time.
Well, I feel like it only took like 5 minutes.
We're an hour into the podcast, by the way.
Oh, wow. Already?
Do we want to continue or do we want to end it here?
I think this is a good point to end it, actually.
Yeah, this is a good point. Yeah.
Alright, guys, that is all for this episode. This is going to be a fun one once it releases. It will drop on
Monday.
On Monday, going off of Odessa time, Odessa days, American days, and Tuesday. If
I just realized today's Friday the 13th.
What was that?
Yeah.
Today's Friday the 13th.
You do realize that was the day that I met it, right? That was yesterday.
Oh,
That's a good luck day, though.
that turned from green to red real quick.
Actually, that's a good thing, in my opinion.
No, but I'm a big horror fan, so Friday the 13th isn't a bad day to me, because I like horror movies and I like Friday the 13th, the movie. So to me, it's a good day. So I get good luck on Friday the 13th. Technically, it's Valentine's Day for me right now.
Oh, yeah.
Take her out.
Wow. Yeah.
She's got work soon.
Tell her quit her job.
No.
Why don't you meet her after work and then just say, let's get a coffee?
Because then I've got work. I've got work when she finishes. I've got work when she finishes. So I would then have to go down to her place and come back up for my work.
But yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap up.
All right.
Anyways, thank you all for tuning into this week's episode of Number One Grey Knight Pod. This has been your host, Mitchell.
This has been Hayden.
And we've had William Sosa as our guest. I hope you guys enjoyed this with our little guest. And we will catch you on the next one with our special guest, Justin Nimmo.
Yay!
Spoiler for next week.
It's already been announced on my podcast, on my TikTok. So
I know, and Will already announced it, but still, spoiler for those who haven't heard.
Those who don't know, that is but you got to talk about your next episode about what it'll be. So if you know,
oh yeah.
So anyway,
that'll be fun.
Until then, see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.